Hi YouTube, it's me Megan. Sorry I haven't done a video in a really long time, but my computer has been totally cracked. So finally got it fixed, but then our internet went down and it just, for some reason I couldn't get the videos to upload. So I'm at the hospital, just in case you can't see, but behind me, sorry, it's over here. This big manometer and all that good stuff, and just wanted to give y'all an update of what's going on. So it is now 7.5 months. I'm almost 8 months post-op, but just to give y'all a brief little rundown of what's going on. And I'm sorry my hair looks really bad, but I don't care. First of all, 265 initial weight. Today I weighed 162. Or yesterday whenever I was admitted, so 162. I am I'm eating well. I'm getting all my protein in without the shakes. I do have a little bit of cravings for things. I do snack a little bit, so I know I really need to cut that out, but I'm gonna do a 5-day pouch test soon, but some things have happened, and so I just kind of want to tell you about those. So I was diagnosed with PCOS here several years ago, and was unable to conceive a baby, and that's why it brought around the obesity and the hypertension and the diabetes and just things, and the hair growth and everything. So last week I found out that I am pregnant. So we're not even a year out, but I'm pregnant, and it does concern me, but the Lord brought me to it, and He'll bring me through it. So it happened, yay! So we are gonna have a baby. It's gonna be our first baby, expecting. We're hoping for a great delivery and everything like that, but and that was last Friday that I found out. So that was Friday, January. Sorry, I'm looking at my calendar. Friday, January 13th. Actually, it was not Friday that we found out. It was that night is when I had the initial dizziness and passing out feeling. We found out January 14th, which was Saturday night. And then Monday, the 16th, was confirmation by blood test, and it was positive. So we're having a baby. And let's see here, this Friday, which was yesterday, the 20th, I was at Motherhood trying on clothes, and to kind of get some things that were, that are on clearance for the summer, because that's when I'm going to be carrying my heaviest. And they have a awesome clearance right now at our Motherhood store, which is buy 2 items and get a 3rd item for free. So I paid like $80 and got several tops and a pair of shorts. So while I was at Motherhood, I passed out and became very sick and very ill, weak. My gait was very unsteady, couldn't walk very well, went to the bathroom and felt like I had to have a bowel movement. I did have a bowel movement, and when I went to wipe, there was a lot of blood. And my first initial thing was, oh my God, I'm miscarrying. I'm actively miscarrying. But the more that I investigated, the more I found that it was not coming from my vagina. It was actually coming from my my bottom. And so I checked out and I went home, and my husband didn't want me to go to work, but I was, in shock and everything, and I thought, oh, I'll just sleep and I'll go to work. Well, we stopped at the convenience store to get me some water for work, and I about passed out in the store. Got to my work, checked my blood pressure, and it was really high. It was 151 over 117, and my pulse was 44. So my husband said, no, we're going to the emergency room. So I went to the emergency room. And by the way, I don't have health care insurance. What nurse in their right mind doesn't have health care insurance? I don't know. The one that has an employer that doesn't supply the health care insurance. So I'm very, very upset with my employer right now. So I get to the ER, and my vitals are completely different from what I had initially gotten. My vital signs, my blood pressure was 88 over 66. with a pulse of 145. That is really crazy. So they immediately took me back and started pumping me with some fluids because they thought, well, maybe I'm dehydrated. So they did a UA on me and everything, and they had several things going on. And I talked to them about the bleeding, and so they had to take a sample if I had a bowel movement. If not, they were going to check me rectally. They did a sonogram and got to see our baby. So right now, it just is the gestational sac. There's not, you can't really tell that the yolk's there or anything like that. It's not developed fully yet, but it's there. But the doctor was concerned. He thought maybe I was having an ectopic pregnancy, the ER doc. So he consulted an OBGYN here in Abilene, and he came in and looked at it and looked at my HCG levels, which my HCG Monday was 639. And today, or yesterday, they were 2,394, which shows that it is progressing, that the baby is developing, and that it is in the right spot. But he checked me vaginally and everything is fine. He said that some babies just don't develop fast like others, and so that's what makes this unique. So, baby's okay, and he signed off on my case. On the case of my bowels, I had a bloody stool which had a lot of blood clots in them at the ER, in the ER room, or in the ER. They immediately, I mean, it was nothing but blood clots. So they admitted me, and all night long I had several loose bloody stools, and which scared the hell out of me, to tell you quite frankly. It really scared me, and I thought something had happened with my bypass. I thought, maybe I had pulled it loose. It could have tore. Something's really wrong. So the GI doctor came in today, and this is what he told me. He refused to do a colonoscopy on me because he said the only thing that he might find is colitis, which is inflammation of the colon. And he said that due to me being dehydrated, and my blood did drop because I am supplying blood for not one but two people right now, because my baby has not kick-started on its circulatory system yet, so I'm supplying that. And on top of all of that, I have become anemic. I wasn't anemic back in October when I did my blood work for my 6-month follow-up visit. By the way, I cleared everything, my abdomen. They did an abdomen scan, and he said everything was immaculate and everything looked really good. So that's why I was like, okay, it looked good in December, and now in January it's just, I'm here bleeding. So he said because of the factors that my blood was low, I was dehydrated, and I'm anemic, it caused your colon, I did not know this, but now that I'm going to share it with you, your colon has 5 layers. The first 2 layers actually died because of the blood loss, because it diverted the blood from there to my baby and to my vital organs to keep me going. So when that happened, my 2 layers died. Well, when the blood flow when my blood started to regenerate, sending, hey, we need to make more blood because we have an extra person on board here that we're supplying for. You need to make a little bit more blood this time. When it started doing that and it was feeding back to the colon, to those parts that have died, it actually caused like a snake sheds its skin. This shed the dead layers, thus causing all the blood. So he said that there's no need for surgery, that he's not concerned, because if I was going to have complications, it would have been 6 months out of surgery. Before 6 months, and he said that I'm out of the 6-month range, and that nothing, if I didn't have complications right after my surgery, I shouldn't have complications now. He said that he's not saying that it doesn't happen, but he says in this instance, with all my signs and symptoms and the passing out and the feeling ill and all of the stuff that's going on, that this is why. So, and that the layers would regenerate themselves by next week. Everything should be clear and everything, and I should stop the bleeding. So I'm at the hospital still. This is night number 2 that I'm here. I'm going to stay tonight, and then tomorrow, if my blood work comes back good, because we're going to do an iron panel. And sorry, I gotta take a drink, and I'm drinking milk tonight, and they didn't have fat free, so I'm drinking 2%, which is the next best thing. It's like, ugh. But they're going to do an iron panel tomorrow. They're going to check my blood levels, my H&H, because my H&H was like 9.3, and I'm originally 13, so that's a big jump, and that's why I'm feeling weak. But tomorrow, if my blood holds steady in it, or if it elevates, they'll let me go home. Now, the iron deficiency, working on that. This is what my GI specialist stated to me. People who take iron supplements when they have gastric bypass, it is not absorbed, because gastric bypass, iron is absorbed through the duodenum and the jejunum, and we don't have those. We don't have those parts anymore. So thus you will not, you could take, he said you could take 1,500 pills a day and you still not absorb any of the iron. It's just something that's not going to happen. So he suggested that I see an oncologist, because they're the ones that give the iron IV treatment here in Abilene. And so, and that's what he recommended, is that I do IV iron, which I think they give IV iron probably once a month. So I'll have to come in once a month and get an IV and get iron supplied to me for at least the next 8 months. Yay, whoopee. So, but on the case of the no insurance, Medicaid, wow. Me and my husband roughly made about $52,000 last year, just me and him. So, excuse me. So, Medicaid, I think I do not qualify for Medicaid because I make too much for pregnant women. But here's the catch-22. Texas has Medicaid for medically needy families. And what happens is if you apply for Medicaid, for just regular Medicaid or Medicaid for pregnant women, and you do not qualify, if you have outstanding medical bills, they take and they subtract that from your yearly income, and what's left over is what your yearly income is. So take for granted that me and my husband made like $52,000 last year. This hospital trip alone is probably going to be about $100 grand, just easy, right off the top. That's not doctors, that's nothing, that's just my stay, the services that they did, the tests that they ran, how many labs I've had, you know, the sonogram, you know, well, that was by the doctor, but the sonogram, the blood cult that I had to do, my nursing services, you know, all of that, the blood pressure, the IV, the fluids, because I've had nothing but fluids in me, the food, everything. That's about $100,000 this trip. And that's just for, this is day number 2 here. Yeah, wow, it is astronomical. But, so when they subtract that from my yearly income, just this trip alone, not considering anything that I've done for my pregnancy or anything like that, yeah, I think we pretty much zero that out. So hopefully we will qualify for Medicaid to kick in. And you know, I've never done this before. I've never had Medicaid. I've had food stamps once before, but I was only on them for like 2 months, and then I was able to supply myself, so I did. I've never ever had Medicaid, and I don't think it's a bad thing, and I don't discredit anybody that tries to get Medicaid for the needs that they need to meet. I'm totally for helping people, and that's why I pay taxes. I pay taxes so that people can, it's for benefit for a whole, not just the benefit for one. And I firmly believe that there are people out there who really need it, and in this instance, I really need it, and I pray to God that I get it, because I cannot pay a $100,000 bill. But the social worker was in here today, and she promised me to not worry about it, that it would be taken care of. So that kind of reassured me that I would probably be qualified for Medicaid. So I will be covered by Medicaid, and we'll get through this, and I'll get what I need done. And then I'm going to be looking Otherwise, it doesn't matter if I get Medicaid or not, I'm still going to be looking for a job that offers insurance, because that's me. I have to have insurance. I make good enough money to where I shouldn't have to have governmental assistance, because that's the way I feel. We make enough money that we should be able to supply insurance to ourselves, because there are other people out there who really need it. Well, right now I really need it because no insurance. Hello, no insurance, and that sucks. So people don't get caught dead without insurance, just to let you know. So anyways, or pray to God that it lines you up qualifying for Medicaid, just to let you know. Other than that, everything is fine. So baby's good. I ended up, after the vaginal exam, he said that he didn't see, it was not an ectopic pregnancy. He ruled that out. He said that it was attached to the uterine wall, and there's indentation around the sac, and that the only thing that he had concern with was that he thought he could see the beginning of a yolk sac, but wasn't for sure. So we're just going to have to wait and see. But other than that, he signed off on my case, so he kind of feels comfortable with me. And the baby's okay is what we get from that. So mommy's okay, baby's okay, gastric bypass is okay. Thank you, Dr. Barnes. And yeah, I still haven't told him yet that I'm pregnant, because I know he won't yell at me, but I don't want him to be disappointed, because we set a goal for me to be 130 pounds, and I'm not going to meet that goal this year. So, but it's okay. We're just going to take it with a grain of salt, and you know what? I have a baby, and I'm just going to treat myself really well, and I'm going to continue doing my diet. And if I continue doing my diet, then I shouldn't gain very much. And so, it'll all be okay. I have faith in that. So, y'all keep me in your prayers, and y'all think about me. And I'm so glad to see everybody. Y'all are looking wonderful, by the way. Y'all knew who you are. I just totally, Nanner's journey, dude, you are looking so good. I can't even begin to tell you how good you look. And McDerwin, you are looking awesome, dude. You look good. So I'm giving some shout outs, and just to let y'all know, I'm praying for y'all, and I'm thinking of y'all all the time. I think about y'all a lot, especially since I haven't been able to make a video, but since I had use of the Wi-Fi internet here, I took advantage of it. So, and we're supposed to be moving out of my sister's house, which has this sucky internet. Probably, but it's internet, so we're not knocking it. You know, it's just that it doesn't run like our old internet. We're not accustomed to it, but it's something. So at least I can still get online. I just can't share with y'all my journey if I don't have the proper internet to do so. But just to give y'all a quick update while I can, and just to give my shout outs and tell y'all that I'm thinking about y'all, and y'all are always with me. I know y'all are always with me in mind and spirit. So just keep me in your prayers, and say a little prayer for my baby. I can't believe that we're having a baby. That is just, it's mind blowing, guys. We've waited for this. We've tried for this for 5 years. For 5 years, we have never been successful, and it was crazy. It was crazy. It just happened. It just, out of the blue, it just happened. So God does work miracles, and I thank Him every day that I was able to have the gastric bypass when I did, because it has saved my life, and has, there's lots of people out there who live with regret for it. And I was scared today, but I knew in my heart that it didn't matter what was going to happen, they were going to help me, and it was going to be fixed. Even if I had to be care plotted to my surgeon, it was going to be fixed. But ultimately, above all, there are people who they are regretful of their decision of having a gastric bypass, and I feel bad for those people, because they do have complications, and they felt like they made a wrong decision. But I will tell you, I made the right decision. This was the right decision for me, and I have a life. I'm able to move. I'm able to do things that I was not otherwise able to do. And we're gonna have a baby. I mean, that is like the ultimate crazy. So I'm over the roof. So I'm an emotional wreck, but just pray for me, keep me in your prayers, and I will do the same for y'all. And y'all are looking good, and keep me updated. I do watch your updates, even though I can't post them. I do watch your updates, and I think about y'all all the time. So y'all take care and keep losing that weight. Don't get pregnant. So y'all have a good night. I'll talk to y'all later. See ya. Bye.